Hello. Before I welcome Donna Duperon, President and CEO of the Torrance Chamber, back to the stage, I'd like to introduce our City Manager, Leroy Jackson. Our City Treasurer, Dana Cortez. And John McGeff, who's our Deputy Chief of Torrance Police Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Good morning. My name is Donna Duperon. I'm President and CEO of the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for being here today. This morning, I would like to offer an analogy, and I would like to take you on a little journey. First, the analogy. You have heard today several times mentioned the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. It would be my guess that a lot of you in this room don't have any idea about what a Chamber of Commerce is or what we do. And if I may use this analogy, in high school, students are asked to pay an ASB fee. Often this ASB fee will allow students entrance into all high school athletic competitions, dances, and a copy of the yearbook. In other words, when an ASB fee is paid, students are provided the opportunity to network within all four classes of the high school, and they are provided resources to help them grow. A Chamber of Commerce has the same similarities, though in our end, we create networking opportunities and provide resources for the business community. We organize several events and educational seminars annually. We advocate on behalf of businesses, and we provide resources and connections for businesses to grow. And now for the journey. The Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce has been in existence for over 100 years. In 1982, a gentleman by the name of Ted Porter, who at that time served on the board of directors, spearheaded a drive to create and form a 501c3, a true foundation within the Torrance Chamber of Commerce. This foundation, due to the efforts of many people, and several of them are in this room today, has blossomed. The foundation's mission for the past 36 years has been to partner the students, faculty, and staff of the Torrance Unified School District with the business community. Through this program, adopted school ceremonies have taken place, mentor programs were implemented, Principal for a Day, where business leadership took on the role of principal, and then the reverse also occurred. Principals became presidents and CEOs for a day. Educators in the workplace was organized, and many other programs were implemented. Additionally, the Chamber has recognized principals and teachers at board meetings, and students have been acknowledged through scholarships. This past year, under the incredible leadership of Lesley Cortez, City of Torrance, and Bill Samp, retired Torrance Fire Department, the LEAD program was created, organized, and implemented. With the assistance of Jennifer Alvera, Green Hills Memorial Park, who serves as vice chair of our foundation, the LEAD program provided an incredible experience for our high school sophomores. At this time, I would like to ask that Lesley, Jennifer, and Bill please stand to be recognized. As co-directors, Bill and Lesley created the themed days for the students, organized the visits, and made themselves available for each and every tour. I would like to thank Leroy Jackson, City Manager, and Torrance Fire Chief Martin Cerna for their dynamic support of this program by allowing Bill and Lesley to be co-chairs. I would now like to invite Lesley and Bill to the stage to tell you a little bit more about the program. Bill and Lesley.
Good morning. We're going to have a great day, right? Okay. As you know, all learning doesn't happen in the classroom. This is Lesley Cortez, and we were told this is our audition for a morning TV show host. But we'll see how that goes. We were the co-directors for the 2017-2018 LEAD program. LEAD can be considered a spin-off of the Torrance Chamber of Commerce Leadership Torrance program that we both participated in many years ago. Before we get started, I need to acknowledge and thank all the business owners, business managers, and staff who made this program possible. These professionals took time out of their busy schedule to guide the next generation.
I'll take it from here, Bill.
Okay.
So far, so good. LEAD is a great workshop, and the vision of Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce CEO Donna Duperon. Her idea is to provide an opportunity for high school sophomores to explore and develop leadership skills, but it's truly a community outreach for tomorrow's leaders. The 26 sophomores here today were selected by their respective Torrance High School leadership to participate in this program.
From the 4 high schools, the students came together and made a unified group. This is a great group of individuals. They were respectful, they engaged the speakers with questions. They often were complimented by the presenters for their participation during the session. Each of them will be introduced later in the program.
So, in essence, the LEAD program, when you're a sophomore, 15, 16 years old, you're not really even thinking about what you want to do in your careers, let alone if you're going to go to college, if you're going to, what you're going to do after school. But our goal of the program was to provide the very best introduction to leadership for each and every one of the students. The city of Torrance became the classroom, and the local business leaders became the instructors. We met over several sessions, as they do in the Leadership Torrance programs, and each student was given a copy of the Lolly Daskal book, The Leadership Gap, to read and discuss. The book covers general leadership principles and shares Ms. Daskal's observation of leaders' powerful abilities that may become hidden, shortcoming to greatness.
Well, we tried to encompass the diversity of the city of Torrance in the program, and to include several organizations that the students may not have entered their normal day-to-day life. We started with History Day, and I see Janet Payne and Debbie Hayes here today, and they did an amazing job with the city history through the Historic Society and the tour of the downtown Torrance. And then Red Car Brewery, the Brants hosted lunch for us and just kicked off our program.
Those of you who know Janet and Debbie know that if there's anything you need to know about Torrance history, those are the ladies to go to, and it was a wonderful day, and they provided a wonderful tour of downtown Torrance. What a great way to kick off the program. The next day was our City of Torrance City Day, City and Government Day. They started their day off, and mind you, it's really challenging with the time constraints to be able to fit all these wonderful things into a day, into a few hours a day, 4 or 5 hours. So they started their day at the Torrance Art Museum at City Hall, followed by a tour of the Torrance Courthouse system, and we were wonderfully welcomed by Judge Alan Honeycutt at the Torrance Courthouse, and they got to actually go back into his quarters, and he talked a little bit about leadership and how he got to where he is. Then we, of course, had lunch, and then followed by a tour of City Hall itself by Mayor Patrick Fury, a wonderful meet and greet and presentation by our city manager, Leroy Jackson, And then, of course, our respective leadership of the City of Torrance all came, took some time out of their days to talk about all the different services we provide at the city. So that was another great day.
On the third day, we did Science Day. We visited the Torrance Refinery Company, spent the morning, and we listened to David Ingram, who's a manager at the refinery, and he summed up leadership by A, B, C, D. I'm sure the students remember his presentation. Then we moved on, and we had a bus ride from the Torrance Transit from the refinery to the Madrona Marsh, and we spent the afternoon at the Madrona Marsh touring the facility and learning about what they do there.
Oh, my turn? One of our favorite days, and I think the kids will agree that one of our favorite days was Cultural Awareness Day, where we hopped on a big, large bus and headed out to LA. We started our day, and surprisingly, it was a couple of students have actually been here, but we took a ride to take a look at Watts Towers and to see Simon Rodia's Dream. If you've ever been over there, it's a wonderful, wonderful display. Followed by the Broad Art Museum in downtown LA. We kind of let them loose out there at Grand Central Market for lunch, and they were wonderful in following instructions. I was a nervous Nelly for them, saying, "You're all go out and get something to eat and come back, and we'll meet right here." And the funny thing about it, Bill and I were the ones that were late in meeting them. So the next thing after that was they, fortunately, if you're familiar with the Angels Flight trolley there, it was out of service for a while, for several months, and it actually opened up the day before we came and visited LA. So they got to get on the Angels flight, and we rode over to view the Bradbury Building. Yeah, that's a lot to fit in one day, and including, and it was also rainy. We were like trying to pray the rain would let up a little bit, which it did. And if some of you remember when we went over to the Watts Towers, the rainbow that we saw, it was just incredible.
One of the highlights of Culture Day, too, is you may not know that on the back side of the Disney Concert Hall is a fountain in the shape of a rose. And it's broken pieces of Mrs. Disney's china that make up this. It's kind of a unique thing to see. Next stop.
That's another thing, huh? The Disney Concert Hall. That's another thing. We went behind. We went behind the scenes. We kind of snuck in the back over there, so they can kind of see all these neat things that a lot of people don't see when they go to the concert hall.
The next day, we went to First Responder Day.
It's your favorite day.
My favorite day. We went over to Torrance Memorial Medical Center, and we had different speakers from the staff at the medical center. And it's interesting because we heard about some folks' direct path in their career. A pharmacist who, by 21 years old, was a pharmacist, kind of unheard of. And then we had other folks who went about different career paths and then got into the medical field. Then we went to the Torrance Fire Department Station 2. We did some leadership discussions and had different demonstrations, used the fire extinguishers, advanced a hose line, and talked about different leadership styles there. Then we went to the police department in that afternoon, had a discussion about leadership, and we also had a station tour. So it was a great day.
So then the next day was How It's Made Day. We started our morning at King's Hawaiian, the factory, not the actual restaurant, but I know a lot of you might know about King's Hawaiian, the act where they make the bread and all the, oh my gosh, it was, who knew? Did you know that you can eat, Mayor Ferry, you probably know that you can actually eat the bread right off the conveyor belt? It was good, it was great. So then, one of the things, it's like, come on, and butter. So the next thing, which, I've been an employee of the city of Torrance for 17 years, and I've never seen but have heard about Rockola. And most of you who don't know what Rockola is, it's a place where they manufacture jukeboxes. And so the kids got to see how the jukeboxes are made, and yes, they still have jukeboxes out there in a lot of restaurants and in the restaurant industry. So that was really, really neat to see, and it kind of brought back, for some of us, you know, when they used to actually play records on the jukeboxes. So that kind of brought back some memories. And then it was followed by that we went to Verco Manufacturing, and that's where they manufacture desks and chairs, and you'll see a lot of that in a lot of the offices that you visit. Yeah, Verco was a wonderful place. And then we took them for lunch and for pizza from one of our landmark restaurants, The Crest. No alcohol. It was just pizza and soda, and we kind of took a little bit of a break through the day. Was it after we did The Crest? Was that it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that's when Donna had approached each one of the students and asked them, what career experts they would like to hear before the end of the course, or end of the program. So she took note of that. Your turn.
Yeah, you keep going.
Oh, you want me to keep going?
Oh, it does. With that information that they gathered at the Crest about folks that they'd like to hear talk, we had an Ask the Expert Day. We had folks like Chef Schaefer and Torrance Bakery, Sports Studio, Red Car Brewery, Lori Brandt, a doctor from UCLA Health, a pediatrician, a couple nurses from Kaiser, to come and speak. And Sabine came, and she had a very interesting personal life story and business story. She had started 3 different businesses in her life, a relatively young lady who also now is making inspirational jewelry. So it's interesting, again, just to show the students that everybody's path's not direct. It's different. It's varied. It's, you know, a turn here or a turn there changes people's lives. So each day was packed with new experiences, guest speakers, and ideas to ponder. We saw the diversity of our community. We saw the difference in leadership styles. Every leader who presented an insight to the group offered their assistance in the future for the students to come back and to visit with them in their chosen career field. That's just amazing. It just shows the support of the community has for the next generation.
Yeah, it was kind of really in the beginning of the program when we read the applications of the potential participants. A lot of it was just, I mean, incredible that some of the way that some of these students are already thinking about. Like I said, you don't really think. I remember I didn't think about what I wanted to do in my career with 15, 16 years old. I knew I wanted to be a veterinarian, and that's why I work for the city now. So I didn't mean that in a bad way. No, I wanted to be a veterinarian, but. Okay. So, I didn't mean it that way. But, when I was reading some of them, I mean, there were some really touching when there's a question there, what do you expect to gain or what are your goals of the program? And some people said, I just want to find my voice. Others said, I don't know what I really want to do right now, and I think this program would be a great way to tap into some of the careers out there, which we made sure that we covered almost everything. Like I said, Torrance was our classroom, and others were, saying that they get panic attacks and they want to learn how to speak better, and they want to learn how to socialize better, and to have, to be more active in their community. So all of these things were encompassed in this program, and I hope that in closing, that this was a great experience and a promising look by our community leaders at the next generation of leaders. So on behalf of Bill, Jennifer, Donna, and myself, we want to say that we're very proud of you, and we wish you much success in your futures. So now we'd like to share a short video. I'm not sure what's on it, so detailing our students' journey. Thank you.
2018, presented by the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. In cooperation with the Torrance Unified School District. Leadership Exploration and Development is a 5-month program that provides 26 sophomore students attending the Torrance Unified School District the chance to visit businesses, educational institutions, and nonprofits in the South Bay and surrounding community. The objective is to develop and nurture leadership skills in our local youth and to inspire our future for greatness in business, civic duty, and volunteerism, to lead today's students into becoming tomorrow's leaders.
Just joining this program, I've met so many people from schools, from businesses that I probably would have never even known existed.
I really didn't I didn't know about Torrance as much, and even though I lived here for practically 8 years.
One of the things I really liked about Lee is that we got to meet a lot of individuals that came from different backgrounds, and they all had different paths to get to where they were. So we got to understand the different ways they went to college, or if they applied for internships, and how they got to the positions they were in. And that really opened my mind up to different paths I can take to get to certain career opportunities.
Anybody have any idea what our payroll is? $100. It's a big number. $50, 50% of everything that goes out of the bakery. You give me $1, 50 cents goes right to payroll. So we got a number of pieces. All right, are we done? We got 12. Let's go eat our pizza. Wait, we have other stuff.
One of the best pieces of advice that I got through my time at Lee was to keep moving forward and always be passionate about what you're doing.
Before coming into this program, I didn't realize how important networking was. So I was really surprised by how many people that Donna, Lesley, and Bill do, because I myself am a very antisocial person. Patrick was always telling me, gee, you gotta open up that door, you gotta expand beyond your boundaries, or else there would be so many things that you're gonna miss out on.
So I feel like my biggest takeaway from Lee was that it really opened up my perspective on really how many jobs are in the field.
The program has really taught me and given me more of an opportunity to interact with all kind of different people from different job forces and to learn more about what they do in their career, because the internet is always not the best place. So it's really nice to hear a personal experience from that. And it's also given me a chance to learn more about Torrance.
The program at Torrance is absolutely amazing. It'll give you so many connections to different people you never thought you would have been capable of meeting. You will end up in places you never thought even existed. You will meet people that'll help you get along in life. It's great for developing communication skills, developing new paths that you want to get into later in life. All in all, it'll improve you as a person.
There are so many things out there in this world, and if you don't open your mind to meet other people, because the exposure of all these other people and all these other things is kind of like fashion. You get to see everything from a different viewpoint and learn something from each person. And I would say, don't forget about your God-given talent, because you all have it and you need to use it.
It has definitely made me more familiar and comfortable with the Torrance community, and has opened a lot of doors to career paths and just people in Torrance that will benefit my future.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Mary Sasso, and I attend North High. So at this time, I'd like to call up Lesley Cortez, the co-director of LEAD. So I'm sure you all know her and her wonderful personality. So I think I can speak on behalf of all the LEAD participants when we say how thankful we are for all the time and effort you have put into LEAD for creating such a wonderful experience. Cultural Awareness Day was definitely my favorite, going to LA. But it was a very surreal experience to be a part of a great learning program, and we couldn't have done it without you. So once again, thank you for putting in the work and dedication into helping us grow into the leaders of the Torrance community.
Hello. Okay, my name is Lydia Nygren, and I'm a student at West High. And I'd like to thank Bill and wait, where are you? Oh. Hi, come up. We are I think from behalf of all LEAD students, we are so thankful for all that you've done. Just the fact that very busy adults and very, amazing members of our community are willing to just invest in the students here and just take us so much further than we get from just school alone. We're just so thank you for everything. So to you guys.
Hello again. I would like to introduce Jessica Tang of Torrance High School to introduce Dr. Mannon.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Tang, and I'm a member of the LEAD program through Torrance High School. Today I'm honored to talk to you about Dr. Mannon. The Torrance Unified School District Board of Education appointed Dr. George Mannon as Superintendent of Schools in 2005. Dr. Mannon has worked in public education since 1973 when he was a social studies teacher at Charleston High School in West Virginia. He went on to serve as a high school assistant principal at Charleston High School and as principal of Woodrow Wilson Junior High School, also in Charleston. He then served as executive director for Kanawha County Schools in West Virginia from 1984 to 1987. From 1987 to 1993, Mannon worked for the Phoenix Union High School District as a high school principal, assistant superintendent for employee relations, and deputy superintendent. He received a bachelor's degree in social studies from the University of Tennessee, a master's degree in history from Marshall University in West Virginia, and a doctorate in education administration from Arizona State University. Dr. Mannon has been involved in community affairs through membership in various education and service organizations. He's been an active member of the Rotary International for 23 years and was president of the Tustin Rotary Club from 1999 to 2000. That's pretty long. He is currently, I wasn't born yet. He is currently a member of the Torrance-Salamo Rotary Club. Dr. Mannon was a member of the Torrance YMCA Board of Managers and on board of the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. He is on the advisory board of the Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation.
Well, first of all, I need to thank my friend Donna Dupron, who went through the first 20 pages of my remarks for today. So thank you, Donna. And Lori Brandt, who I always love to work with. Lori, that means I'll be on time with 13 minutes. Remember, when you work with Lori, it isn't 10 or 15, or it's 13 minutes. Okay, Lori. So we're off, thanks to Donna. So when we look at, and this is just some quick pieces of information of who we are. And sometimes we, in our community, and I've experienced this over the last 13 years, do not really realize the size of Torrance Unified. If you put Palos Verdes, Redondo, Hermosa, and Manhattan Beach together, then you are the size of Torrance Unified. So let's all remember that when we begin. On your table is some quick facts about Torrance Unified School District, prepared by our Public Information Officer, Tammy Kahn. So we're about 23,000 students, just a little over. We do have a very rigorous, and I'll talk a little bit about this, curriculum in what we do in our school district. A reminder, and we are proud of this, the latest graduation rate was 96.4% for Torrance Unified School District. So we're normally in that type of range, although I will tell you, back several years ago, we actually hit 99% that year. And Jack O'Connell, who, by the way, has a connection to this community, Jack was the superintendent of public instruction. His two nieces and nephew, I believe, graduated from South High School. So he had a connection. We knew him, and Jack called me and said, can that really be right on that number, which was just a little bit above 99%. That works out to about 18 kids, by the way. And it was right. So we have always been in that range. But a part of what we appreciate in our community is working with our business community, long-standing partnerships, as Donna Duperon pointed out. And as we move on into the future in the 21st century, clearly education and business has to work together. And so for just a moment, I want to talk about career technical education. Normally we throw that out as CTE. Nobody really knows what that is, but it's career technical education. We have about 3,147 high school and middle school students involved. Yes, 3,147. Katie is always down to the specific number. Now, what does that really mean? And what is this? Well, there are 9 industry sectors. And so I'm not sure many of you in the audience even know what those are, so I thought I'd spend a minute with it. And that's arts and media entertainment, building and construction trades, business and finance, education and child development, engineering and architecture, fashion and interior design, health science and medical technology, hospitality, tourism and recreation, information and communication technology. So in the classroom, we have students working on various areas, and these are only some examples because Lori gave me 13 minutes. A heart dissection for biomedical and health sciences, where students really understand and get to use the skills of handling a scalpel and identifying parts of the heart, and not just seeing pictures in books. A cardboard regatta, which is coming up, oh, by the way, on June the 1st at the Aquatic Center. If you haven't been there, you should stop by and watch a race involving engineering by our female engineering students. In terms of, we'll see how many make it actually across that pool. I think we're going crosswise, not the 52 meters or 62 meters on the full length. In our business pathways, we have courses to learn how to create a business plan and learn skills like marketing, finance, and budgeting and management. And one student is actually combining those skills with his skills and information that he has developed in robotics, which is a great tie. And then there is the designing of robotics and how that works. And Betty Lou's involved with that. She knows exactly from her own student. Students learn to utilize CAD. They design and build machines that can do all kinds of stuff, like pick up stuffed animals, build cars to race, and machines that can toss boxes high in the air onto a scale. There is an area entitled Conducting Forensics, and this is where we investigate and solve mysteries based on medical science. 7th and 8th grade students, by the way, who analyze genetic testing results to diagnose disease and study DNA evidence found at crime scenes, skills that learn how to measure and interpret vital signs. They learn about the human body and the skeletal systems, and even about a growing business of prosthetics that is out there now. We also have in middle school a course where students learn how to create apps. And they are introduced to computer science and sequence, and use logical theory. And they use these skills and programs like apps through work with MIT on photo and sound efforts to design and create digital games. And this year's digital game, Whack-A-Mole. And students use a type of professional coding language called Python, which again is in the world out there used by Pixar and DreamWorks. So one of the things that we have talked about in our community for many years, and I think we didn't use the title STEM, but as many of you know, we were involved with STEM before there was STEM. And through what we do in our community, and I have talked a lot about this in different venues, and I'm very happy to say that EdSource did a feature on Torrance Unified School District several months ago, and our investment in quality science programs and the early adoption of the next generation science standards, and what we are currently doing, which is a leader, by the way, not only in this state, but in the nation as a whole, and that is elementary science labs. And I spent some time, Katie was with me, with some CSU people. If we are really going to be serious about STEM and the effects of science and engineering and mathematics, we have to actually start at the elementary level. Not in middle, not in high, at the elementary level. Now, I'm proud to say that our Torrance Education Foundation, Susan sitting there, has partnered with us and partnered with our community. Our community took a bold step of passing a bond, and in that was a science lab, a real science lab, for each elementary school, 17. And the Torrance Ed Foundation stepped up to work with the business community to provide supplies and equipment for every one of those 17 labs, which I think is outstanding. Now, what does this really mean? And it's a phrase I've used several times. If any of you ever want to go see this, feel free, we'll take you there. Susan actually will even lead you. She knows how to do that now. But what you really see when students are there, and this is more than a building, is the actual joy of learning, of students hands-on thinking, using critical thinking skills at kindergarten and first grade. It is amazing what you will see. You can actually see those little wheels moving up there, you know, when you talk and see kids and what they're doing in those labs. Now, as we have moved forward in our community, which I'm very proud of what our community has done, not only have we done the elementary science labs, But we also have envisioned and increased the number of science labs at our middle schools to increase the ability of teachers to use those spaces for our curriculum, which is always being improved in the area of science. But many people have not realized that a part of STEM, which became STEAM, is the arts. And our community, again, as part of Bond, we have an art space on every one of our elementary campuses. We have worked with our middle schools in terms of their spaces, and to come, new auditoriums for West, North, and South High School. Torrance High, wonderful auditorium, which has been completely redone with the latest in terms of digital music, or digital sound, music, and lighting. And it is a new world when you get into that. The next school up is West High School, which will open on June 4th for the new auditorium there. And if you haven't driven by South High School or North High School on Yukon, they're going great guns on building those auditoriums out there. So we have supported the arts, and we've supported them quite nicely. We also briefly talked about our female engineering students and the Aquatic Center, which is a place, if you have not visited, you should. It actually puts Torrance in a position for the future in terms of not only swimming, but water polo. It is a unique place to go visit and actually see the number of students who use it each and every year. This is a project which members of this community who can remember back, like Pat Fury, to the early 70s, that the community has wanted for many years, and that is a swimming facility for all of our high schools. We appreciate the 50 years or so that the city assisted us with the plunge, but when you have 4 high schools with 4 teams each, meaning 16 teams that have to have practice time and actually have meets, it's just inadequate. So we appreciate once again the city and our community for what we have done in this community. Lastly, simply because it's out there, we have to acknowledge it, and that's the whole issue of student safety with shootings that have occurred in this nation. Now, I'm proud to say that we have one of the best relationships that I have experienced between the Torrance Unified School District and the Torrance Police Department and the Torrance Fire Department. We cooperate each and every day. New Chief Irvine and I put out a letter about a month ago in terms of what we are doing and what we see in the future. So let me just go through that quickly. We have surveillance cameras, over 1,200 by the way. If you ever go on to one of the school campuses, just make sure you head right for that office, because we can watch everything you do out there once you come on that campus. By the way, for our police department, they have immediate live feed on any of those 1,200 cameras, which means I'm a police officer, and even at night, something's going on at a campus and I have to respond, you will be able to see what's going on that campus before you get there, which is a big plus for our police department. We have and have updated all of the fencing that's in our community, in our schools. And by that, we work cooperatively with our neighbors around our school sites on the fencing. Much of that fencing was done prior to or when those schools were actually built. So you're talking 60-some years in many cases that those fences were there with holes in them. there was a nice article in the Daily Breeze about a system called 123 door lock system. Kind of a funny story. We were the second client of a Torrance company who produced 123. He was a little overwhelmed because he was doing this job while he had his other job, and all of a sudden the discussion with him was, we want 2,000 of them. 2,000? 2,000. Since that time, he now is full-time with his company. He sells this product nationwide from Torrance, and a real success story in working with us. And finally, the last piece in school security is what will go into place by next fall at all of our school sites. And that is a little black box that you will see on all of the main gates into the school. Once the school day starts, all gates will be locked. You can press that button, and that button does a buzz into the office, and office staff can see who the person is. They can actually communicate with the person at the gate. That will take place at all of our sites. When the school day ends, you can program it for whatever time, then the gate will open. So it is a major step. We have been piloting this program for 4 months at Carr Elementary School. It works great, but what we found out is kindergarten kids love to push the button. So we do have to work on that little piece. It's kind of fun, to do that and see what happens after you push it with that. So I'm proud of what we do. I'm proud of our community and what our community has provided our schools and invested in our schools. And I'm proud of also the whole partnership with businesses in Torrance and, of course, my friends over at the Chamber of Commerce and what we have done through the years. So thank you very much. I appreciate it very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicholas Sperling, and I'm from North High School. And on behalf of everyone here, I would like to say thank you to Dr. Manning for his presentation.
Thank you, sir.
We're back. I just got word, and very personally relieved, I've failed my audition for the morning show. But Lesley's still in the running. So she's going to announce the students. If we can have the students line up down the ramp here, and the reception line form over here. We'll announce the participants for LEAD 2017-2018. Okay? Thank you. Yeah, legislators over there.
If we can have the legislators line up on this side and the students on this side.
And then I'll shake their hand. And then you can read the name. Look at them all. Here's the running start. Do you have a joke? It's open. Why did the girl ask the mushroom? She thought it was a funny act. Tell
Congratulations to Jesse Saldivar. Jessica Tang. A no longer a wallflower, Tia Morimoto. Jordan Morimoto. Lydia Nygren. Ashley Ogan. Sergio Campos. Jamie Tomita. Sejan Park. Mary Sasso. Nicholas Sperling. One of my athletes, Casey Yumamoto. Another athlete, Jordan Yee. My superstar and the only other person taller than me, Aria Fulton. Thank you. Lilith Weeks Young.
It's hard. It's Kawaii. Okay.
She is.
I'm Kawaii Kiaina. Okay.
This is a little easier. Kennedy Jew. Claire Matsuda. Drew Higashigawa. Samantha Falcon. Last, certainly not least, Janai Kramer. Let's give it to our 2018 lead graduates.
Hi, one more time. Okay, on behalf of the Torrance Chamber, we'd like to thank the following for making today possible. American Honda Motor Company, Cal State Dominguez Hills, let me raise this up a little, El Camino College, UCLA Health, Continental Development Corporation, DoubleTree Hotel, Torrance City Cable, and Dr. George Bannon. And I would like to personally thank Donna, Lesley, Bill, and Jennifer, and all of our schools and principals and teachers for letting us be out of class for a lot of these days. It was such a great experience. Thank you for letting me be your MC today, and enjoy the rest of your day. And one more thing. Can we get a group picture with all the lead students on this side? Right now? Yeah. Nice picture. Mm-hmm. We're going on this side.
You guys, if you're shorter, I want you to